What's up, guys? This is Zinhao for BrPC channel, and today I will talk about a subject that is a question that a lot of people always ask me in the daily basis on the internet, everywhere we talk about poker, and it's how to make a good transition to cash games. And normally this question can be made by MTT players, that is the vast majority of the poker market, but it can be spin and go players, sit and go players, or even recreational players like MTT live players or live cash game recreational players, or even online cash game players. They want to make a transition to professionalism, to make cash games online your main source of income, or want to be a professional cash game player. So I separated here some subjects that I think is important. So number one, my tip is go deep on theory. So it depends a lot of your level. Of course, you can be like very experienced MTT player, and of course you have more knowledge about theory overall, and even playing MTTs, that is the vast majority short stack. You can be good and have a lot of experience in deep stacks as well. But even though I always advise all of my students and all of the people overall, and we have some players that came from MTTs on BrPC, that to go deep on theory, to go deep on the mathematics behind poker, especially starting from the pre-flop, because you can receive nowadays some pre-flop charts, some advices of which hands do you want to play from each type, from each position, but without knowing exactly why. So I do think that this is a very important subject, and you should go deep on that. And for that, I always advise three books. Two of them are wrote by Matthew Zinhao, that I think it's a guy that explains pretty well how the theory of poker works, and the other one is called MOP, Mathematics of Poker. Okay. Number two is work with solvers correctly. So we are in 2021 already, and there's no time more for you to not be working with the main tools of 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 the market. So there's absolutely zero reasons for you to not be working with the solvers that can give you a very good answer about why theory poker acts the way it acts. So, but it's very important to use it correctly. And here on BrPC, of course, we have tons of advices on that, tons of classes on that. But even without even out of BrPC, you can find a lot of materials on the internet, here on YouTube as well, about people explaining how to approach a solution from solvers and how you should work on that. Okay. Number three, if you come from MTTs mainly, so this number three is mainly from the MTTs guys, use your endurance in your favor. So I came from MTTs. For the ones that don't know, I started as an MTT player, played MTT for 1 year in 2015, and then I made my transition to cash games. So I can tell to you pretty well about this transition because I made it. And what I think it's the most important for MTTs is that the guys that grind MTTs are very used to keep like hours and hours in front of the computer grinding. So use that endurance on your favor. Like cash game players, of course, there are sick grinders, but they never, the ones that only played cash games, never had to stay like long hours in front of the computer. So I do think that MTT's player have this ability more better and than cash game players. Okay. Um, Number four is don't be lazy. So what I want to say with don't be lazy, don't let yourself be lazy because they're coming from another type, a more rigid schedule type of game like entities. Even sitting goals can be more rigid as well. So don't let yourself to be lazy because of that and be like, oh, now I play cash games, I want to play Zoom, I will play some minutes of my day, I will stop, and then I will play later. And if you don't have this schedule, don't be lazy, and you can be like not playing enough, not giving yourself the attention that you should. Okay. Number 5, this can be somewhat polemic because I did that almost all my career, but I do say that for people overall, don't play Zoom. So regular tables have a lot of stuffs, and we can even cover that in future videos, but there's a lot of benefits between reg tables from Zoom. So I did play Zoom from 10 an hour to 500 Zoom, and only when I moved to high stakes that I realized how better it is to play regular tables, and I do give you this advice. Okay, and number 6 is one of the reasons of you not that you shouldn't be playing Zoom tables, and instead of that you should playing reg tables, is table select. So playing with a bad player at the table, or more than a bad player, like 2 bad players or 3 bad players on your table, is really awesome. And sometimes you can't find that on Zoom, and the games are have a really high rate. So do your job in seeing how big the rake is, how big a player should be losing for you to be winning, and you will realize that rake tables are the way to go. Okay, and number 7, I already talked a little bit on the number 4, but it's schedule or grind your grind and breaks. So if you come from another variant of poker, like MTTs, like sit goals, you kind of, especially on MTTs, you already have your breaks and schedule by the sites. You have those 5 minutes, and you will not sit out until the tournament is over for you, or the tournament is over. And because of that, on cash games, you need to schedule better your sessions. If you're following my advice and playing reg tables, or if not, if you're not following my advices and you're playing Zoom, even though it's good to know for how long you're gonna play, for how long you're gonna stay at the table, and with that, scheduling your sessions and your breaks are very important for your career. Okay, thank you very much.